thinking those condos on the
you're talking
west
about,
side.
no, not those ones. No.
Okay.
That's MJC.
Yeah.
What's going on there?
Yeah, and you are right about that. They do go
Okay.
back there and break into the Taylor Ford now.
And Mayor, just to add, I think that's a brownfield site as well.
Yeah, it's brownfield. So there's it's quite an extensive list. I actually took the list home this weekend and drove around and looked at some of the commercial sites just to see if there's anything else that the city may be interested in exercising the first right of refusal. Nothing jumped out at me, but there's another strategy that we're looking at that we'll likely bring forward to City Council before the next meeting. But that Timber's Edge will definitely bring forward, and we do intend to exercise our first right of refusal on that property.
Can we get a copy of that list sent to us in the email?
Jerry, can you know? Yep, sure will.
I appreciate it.
Sure. 5A, and we can just update Angie if she shows up late. 5A is the appointment of Gus Andreasen and Howard as Corporation Counsel. I'm going to, I'll do a quick intro of Gus and then I'll turn it over to Gus. He's a better salesman of himself than I am. Gus has a long history with the city of Taylor. He was with Butzel Long in his previous life and spent probably the better part of 15 years representing the city of Taylor. He's served under several different administrations. The firm is a big firm with a lot of firepower, which is one of the things that I really like about the firm. Gus, again, has a, I'll let him kind of talk about some of his own accomplishments, but he's been involved with Lakes of Taylor, Taylor Meadows, several of the developments in the city of Taylor, the Sportsplex. He's been around and has a lot of institutional knowledge, and that's one of the things that we still lack today is some of that historical knowledge. So certainly, Gus, if you want to talk a little bit about your background and where you're from, and other than that you went to school at BYU, everything else is pretty good.
Well, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I appreciate it. I appreciate the opportunity to come in before the City Council and the administration and talk a little bit about Howard and Howard. As the Mayor mentioned, I have in the past done a significant number of projects with the City of Taylor under prior administrations. The first project that I did was the communication towers. Back in the heyday of the cell phone industry, everybody wanted to put up cell phone towers. Administration came to me and said, what should we do here? So we drafted an ordinance where we put a moratorium on building cell phone towers in the city of Taylor. Obviously, the cell phone industry came and said, well, you really can't do that. We have a right to do towers in the city of Taylor. We came up with a strategy where we streamlined the process for them. If they would put the towers on properties that we identified the properties where they could put them on, and they just happened to be City of Taylor properties. And we put up several towers there, and we generated a significant amount of yearly revenue from those towers. And from that, I was then introduced to City Council, the administration. I did numerous projects for both Taylor Meadows, Lakes of Taylor, a number of construction projects there. Taylor Sportsplex, that was a project that I was intimately involved with, where we actually went out and purchased all the property where the Sportsplex is now located, and then we entered into a design-build contract with Wade Trim, and we built the Taylor Sportsplex. Also did several bond deals on behalf of the City of Taylor, where we built the new police station and fire station. Did a number of residential developments on behalf of the City of Taylor, where we did development agreements with the different developers in town. Those were Gulf Lake Estates, Lake of Taylor condos, Parkview condos, Goddard Road brownstones. We also were instrumental in the Telegraph Road utility lighting project, where we put all the utilities underground and put the nice lights up. We represented the city on a number of matters with respect to the collective bargaining agreements on behalf of the city, and we negotiated a number of collective bargaining agreements. We also represented the city on a number, probably 12 or 13, if not more, arbitrations with the city and employees of the city, and we were very successful there. I've also, my introduction to the Downriver was through the Downriver Community Conference, where I was the Corporation Counsel for the Downriver Community Conference and was instrumental in building the enhanced 911 system for all of the Downriver communities. I noticed this young fire department member has one of the phones here. Those were some of the phones that we purchased through that, and we did a bond deal on behalf of the city and the Downriver Community Conference, where we were able to purchase those cell phones as well as all of the infrastructure for the 911 system that was at that time located at the City of Taylor Police Department. I believe it's still located there. I'm not sure if it is or not. But in background of the Howard & Howard, I started out of law school with a large New York firm that had an office in Detroit, and then I joined Howard & Howard, and it was at Howard & Howard that I first started doing work for the city. I moved over to Butzel Long for a number of years, and then I came back to Howard & Howard about 8 or 9 years ago, and have continued to do municipal work. We've represented a number of communities in the state of Michigan, as well as Illinois, a couple of airport authorities. We were instrumental in representing the city of Pontiac when they had the Silverdome and the Lions were vacating their lease, and we negotiated the deal with the Detroit Lions on the Silverdome property, and then we've been working with the city of Pontiac on that. We also, with the city of Pontiac, took a public hospital, and we took it private on behalf of the city of Pontiac. Howard & Howard is a full-service law firm. We have approximately 130 attorneys in different offices. We have an office in Detroit, in Royal Oak actually, that is basically the headquarters of Howard & Howard. We have an office in Chicago and an office in Las Vegas. The office in Las Vegas, we do a lot of intellectual property for the gaming industry, all the slot machines and the computer machines that you see. We do a lot of the patent work for them, and we've done that, and we've had that office in Las Vegas for a number of years. We have a number of people who focus specifically on municipal issues, and we've, like I've indicated, we've represented a number of municipalities, from doing all of their prosecution work to all of their in and out day-to-day operations of cities. People ask oftentimes, well, you guys are a business law firm, and that is correct. But it really is the business of the city that we handle. We represent the cities. If you look at it, typically cities are some of the largest employers in the region, and we are able to, with our support staff, handle all the issues that come up on a day-to-day basis for municipalities. The way that we operate, very streamlined. The administration obviously has my cell phone, my email address, and my contact information, and we try to respond within the, if I get a call in the morning, I try to return that call by noon. If I get a call in the afternoon, I try to return that call by the end of the day. Obviously, the City of Taylor has used a number of attorneys. Often, people perceive attorneys as fungible. They can use anybody. We understand that. And what we try to do, and what we hold ourselves out as, being very responsive to any needs that you have. And if we don't have the answer, we'll find the answer. And if we don't know the answer, I'll tell you I don't know that answer, but I can get you an answer within a day. Okay, so that's kind of how we function. We've been doing this for, I hate to say how long I've been doing it, but I have been doing it for some time. And I really, really enjoy working with municipalities, particularly the City of Taylor. I love bringing people down here to show off the amenities that the City of Taylor has and what the City of Taylor has done over the last 15, 20 years. And I hope to be able to continue doing that and serving the administration and the city council and in that regard. My background, I have a public policy degree from Brigham Young University, so I am, I'm not like Hillary Clinton, I'm not a public policy wonk, but public policy is what drives the municipality. And my role is not to set policy, but to implement the policy that the city council wants to deploy, and go about that, give you the best advice that we can with regard to the ins and outs, the risks, the merits of each step that you take along the road with regard to those pieces of business that come before the city.